Welcome back to this edition of Joy in Our Town. And joining us in studio right now is the Honorable Mayor Bill Gillespie. And he is mayor of Prattville. And we are just honored to have him here today. And we're going to discuss some of the things that are going on in Prattville. Welcome, Mayor.
Welcome. Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Why don't you tell those a little bit about yourself that may not know Mayor Bill Gillespie?
Well, there's not really a whole bunch to tell. I'm just a homegrown boy. I mean, my family has been in Prattville for quite some time. I've lived there my whole life. Have some deep roots there. We have a small family business that I think that has actually helped prepare me for the role as mayor. But besides that, just live, work, eat, breathe, Prattville.
And how long have you been mayor of Prattville?
Just a little over a year.
Okay, that first year in office.
First year in office, which also I was on the city council for about 6.5 years there. So it's and also my father was also on the council. So it's not like I was just a true newcomer to the waters. But I've really have enjoyed it over this last year.
Great. Well, Mayor, we want to get right into it and talk about the dire financial situation that somewhat played out. You going into office with all of that before you. How were you able to handle that?
Well, I think I utilized some of my background from the small business before I got into the political world, which one of it was a mechanical background, which when you start having a mechanical issue, you really, first off, you step back and look and see and decide what direction you need to go in. And then also, if it's a very big problem, then you go ahead and try to dissect it into different divisions. And I think there again, coming from that small family background, I went from pretty much having 3,000 customers to 30,000 customers. So I'm just taking it one department at a time.
So having said that, what policies have you had to implement or things that you've had to change since becoming mayor of Prattville?
Well, there's been quite a few of them. Some small ones, such as a no idling policy. But I think one of probably the biggest ones is probably the full disclosure. You've heard a lot of people talking about transparency and so forth, and I think transparency has been overused. So I've came up with full disclosure, which when you let everybody know that everything is going to be put on our city website, that all of our interactions with the citizens, the businesses that we interact with, everything, it is public record. We're not working for ourselves. We're working for our customers, which happen to be the taxpayers of Prattville.
So let me ask you this. Do you see economic improvements for Prattville?
Most certainly. Frosley had just announced the other day that over the next 2 years they'll be increasing their employment by 100 people. And we have some other ones that I feel like will be coming up in the very near future that I cannot talk about right now. But I do see some 2012 to be a good year for Prattville.
Prattville, the preferred community. Why is it considered the preferred community?
Well, I think it's just people. I've gone to talk at different functions, and Prattville does not have the buildings that Montgomery, Atlanta, Birmingham, you name the area, but I think it's really the people. I think when Daniel Pratt came in, the way he set up the small little village that he did, and then also Maxwell being so close and coming over and just seeing the little different spice that we add to life, I think it's really just truly the people.
Well, I know you mentioned there were some things that you could not discuss, but some of the things that you can that are on the horizon for Prattville. You want to talk about a few of those things?
Well, we all know what's been going on in the economy.
Right.
It's been pretty tough for everybody, so you've had to tighten your belt, cut back on spending. But one thing that I've been trying to do with some of that in mind is that everybody does not have the same cash flow as they used to. And so recently, stay vacations has became a new term that I had not heard really in the past. But anyway, with that in mind, we have a wonderful creek that runs behind City Hall that whenever I initially ran for council, I had made several comments that was a untapped jewel that we had just let flow right on down. And so with that in mind, kayaking, swimming, because I grew up swimming some in Otago Creek. It's a lot safer now than it was then because of we had some mills and everything that put different dyes and so forth in there. But that was the way of the world at that time. But anyway, it's a jewel that that was not really truly tapped, and we still have a lot of tapping to do on that jewel. But after I got on, I formed a Toggle Creek Improvement Committee, and they have really grabbed hold of the concept, and I see a lot to be done in that area in the very near future. They've done quite a bit already, but also they have what they call green trails and blue trails. Mm-hmm. The blue trails are the water, and the green trails are the walking, and we're trying to get our canoe trail opened up all the way to the river. And now, the other night I heard that they have got it open all the way up to the river, so I believe it's 16 miles worth of canoe trail there. But the green trail, we're trying to get it opened up, which would be approximately about 2.5, 3 miles or so. And so I hope to see a lot of people coming out and enjoying that, which pretty much all it takes is an inner tube, a kayak, a canoe, swim trunks, a bicycle, tennis shoes, you know, just something that you can get the family out together, not spend much money, if any at all. But I see a lot of that activity to be a draw. And there are some other things that there again, I hope you invite me back. But we have a couple other things on the very near horizon I think will be very interesting and very healthy and very family oriented.
And it sounds just like that, a great family plan that's in place. And you mentioned the word greens, which brings me to the PGA that has been in that area for the past few years.
Yes, ma'am.
Now,
LPGA.
Are we expecting that, the LPGA?
Yes, ma'am.
Are we expecting that to come back to Prattville?
Yes, ma'am. They'll definitely be coming back one more time. Hopefully they'll come back again and again and again. You know, it's Prattville has accepted them very well, and all the reports when I go out and talk with the ladies and their caddies, and they feel very at home with Prattville. I know I also have probably a special connection through them than a lot of other people don't, but my son and I are big golfers, but then also the first year that LPGA came, both of us actually happened to be caddies for some of the ladies out there, and then I've caddied a few times, and it really, and I've also been a marshal and anyway, some other functions out there for LPGA, but it's really, really great. I think it brings the community together when you can really be out there and interact with them. I probably ought to leave this out, but I'm not. We had the men come for a few years, and we had the ladies come for the last few years. I like the ladies a lot better. They're a lot more personal. But anyway, I hope they do. I think it's good for the community. I truly believe that it's probably just a break even for us. We do have to pay for them to come in for prizes and expenses and so forth. But I think it's a break even for us, and our name is definitely out on the map because of it. I know
Absolutely, it is.
I know I've gone out 4, 5, 6 months after the tournament, and I see some golfers in, and believe me, you know what a golfer looks like when you see one. But anyway, they can come in from Denver, Colorado, or somewhere else, and usually be a group of 12 or 18. But anyway, I think it's been good for the whole river region.
Well, excellent. Let's talk just a little bit about the job market in Prattville. Tell me a little bit about the job market there. What's going on in Prattville we know overall the decline as far as employment.
Yes, ma'am.
But what's going on in the preferred community when it comes to the job market?
Well, you know, we all have different indicators, and there again, coming from the mechanical or automotive background, I've always heard that Ford truck sales or truck sales in the South are a real good indicator of whether the economy is up or down. And the dealerships that I have talked with are telling me that truck sales are on the incline. But also we have the Frosley 100 jobs coming in on that, which also means construction and pipe fitters, electricians. So it's not only are you going to have that 100 jobs, you're going to have the support staff for that. But I really see that in our unemployment rate, the last I checked was right around 8%. So, you know, it's good for this area. Not the lowest, but not the highest either. So we're really close to, I believe 2012 is going to be a great year.
Excellent. Cost of living.
Well, I'm homegrown.
Yes.
So this is the only place I've really lived. I have checked outside just to do a minor comparison, but I might not be a very good person to say cost of living because it's I haven't traveled out very far, but the small conversations I've had with people coming in from Maxwell, and as they come through, we've got to meet them quite a bit, and they have found out that our property taxes are really low. Cost of living, from what I'm hearing, is low. So I think that's a very good. And then another thing too about Prattville, Prattville, you can get just about anything that you need in Prattville now. 30 years ago, whenever, well, I guess it'd be longer than that, but whenever I was in grade school, the first thing we had to do was go outside the city to buy a lot of supplies and clothes and stuff like that. Pretty much now we can get all that inside the city.
Okay.
And with that said, I mean, you know, it's cost of living is a lot cheaper because Prattville's not that expansive, and you can drive around and not burn up very much gas.
Okay.
And but
excellent. In closing, is there anything that you'd like to share about Prattville and as far as being mayor of Prattville at this time? I'll open that up for you, and you know, if you want to expound on it just a little bit.
Okay. Well, I appreciate the question there and the opportunity, but it's been a very eye-opening, very challenging, and I've really have truly enjoyed it. I know I have a lot of people out there praying for me. They tell me, I can feel it, and that is really one thing that has really kept me going through all of this.
Yes.
Anyway, I'm just blessed to be here.
Mayor Gillespie, it has truly been a pleasure having you here in the studios with us today, and I just look forward to seeing some of the great things that will continue going on in Prattville, the preferred community. That's going to do it for this edition of Join Our Town. Thanks so much for joining us. Join us again next time.